In this video I will show and explain more about my take on contemporary bobbin lace. This is an overview of the materials and techniques I'm using. You will see bracelets, lampshades, scarves and rings. This is a preview for coming tutorials. I will show you the magic of materials and colors in my contemporary bobbin lace. Necklaces. Here you can see some necklaces. They are made out of bobbin lace, just bobbin lace, nothing else. The inner side has a fixed band which is holding the necklace together. It secures the form. Outside, the lace can be very playful. Some have even picots. The necklaces are worked with embroidery thread, playing with different colors. This color play is very important for me. I hope to give it a more alive impression rather than the feeling of a bit of thread. The necks of women are very different. This is not only dependent on the weight. The form of the necklace is very individual. If you want to make a necklace for a special person, please measure and adjust the pattern. Bracelets made out of embroidery thread. I have made different kind of bracelets. They differ in size, technique and also material. Now we are talking of bracelets with embroidery thread, only embroidery thread. Now you see broad pattern bracelets. To give the strength, the stability, you find on both sides of a bracelet a lace band. Inside is a lace pattern. For the attraction of the eye, I worked with a lot of tallies. They also give stability. When the bracelets are finished, you cannot tear them. They can be washed and ironed. Each pattern has to be learned. You have to learn how each pair is moving. This is important for your choices of color, that you can manipulate the color in the way you want. When you start, you have to decide where every single bobbin goes. There is no change later possible. That is the same with small pattern bracelets. The width is depending on the strap clamps I'm using. It also has the bands to both sides for giving stability. And as you can see, I have used a lot of different colors. Now this is a bracelet with an open pattern. That means you only have a grid underneath and you decide how to manipulate this lace. You can lace cloth stitch and add some tallies. You can use whole stitches or half stitches and twists. This is all up to you. Important is that you are working with enough pairs to give the lace stability. Sometimes it's really amazing what comes out of the playing around with colors and stitches. As you see this one here. I was amazed when I made it. And here's a gold one with some tallies inside. Next you see them in a broad version, and you can see they're as nice as the other ones. Some are more complicated to do, that it really looks good and even, but they are just nice. I like them. Lampshades out of toilet paper. The first lampshade you see was made out of toilet paper with an application of lace. You can see that the mold did not work very well. It's not straight. Also the lace which I've applicated is not in line. The next lampshade is better made. I've built a better mold and the glaze is applicated well. It was a commissioned work and my customers were happy with the outcome. Lampshades, toilet paper mounted on glass. Here you see some IKEA glass bodies. This is a square one, and you can see the toilet paper is sticked on the glass and the lace is applicated. This one, there's the lace around the corner to make a nicer optical effect, in blue this time. And the third is a smaller one with a tiny lace. Lampshades made in the technique of lace and sewing. The lampshades are round, the form is closed, and you see the lace is now in form of wool. It depends what kind of pattern I'm making, but the net doesn't need really to do much stabilization, because there's a net curtain underneath and it's all fixed with a kind of glue so that it is self-standing. The next one is a lampshade which is about 70 centimeters high. You can see it's I kept it quite light and have some tallies in there. Scarves made out of lace and sewing. I have two ways of lacing these kind of scarves. One is to use cloth stitch with square tallies. This gives a kind of shabby look. You see here a dark blue scarf in this making and one in beige. Both are very big scarves in size, around 50 centimeter wide and 220 centimeter long, which means 20 inches to 85 inches. The other way is to lace free. I just draw a few forms on the work material and then start lacing. Here you can see a section of a black scarf. The lace is widespread so that each thread is visible. Difficult is that you cannot take too much tension in the wool. It will stretch and reverse in the moment it is fixed. The contraction cannot be held by the material I use underneath. Everything then is contracted. You have to learn how much tension you can use with the wool. For this reason are the cloth stitch scarves, the shabby ones, more difficult to make. The running bobbin pair is difficult to handle in the tension. The tallies, either round or square, are the eye catchers. The net underneath supports the lace and is giving then an airy feeling. The net is done with a sewing machine. It takes long hours on the sewing machine to sew the net. I also change colors in the sewing to make it more vibrant. The net is more solid than you believe. You can wash and iron it. For this scarf I've used the ground pattern for the flowers, which I enlarged. I could have done it with 2 pairs. To make it more uncomplicated for me, I used 4 pairs. The inside of the flower stays without a sewn net. Here you can see it curled around the neck. This scarf is smaller, around 20 centimeters, means 7.9 inches wide. I even made smaller ones. With the 12 centimeter, 4.7 inches wide. Blues are the colors I've sewed best. And here you see another airy one in green. A different one is the cowl. Here you can see a red cowl free-laced. A band is nailing around some circles. Resin and epoxy, interchangeable jewelry. Now you can see some resin epoxy discs with lace. The disc has a hole in the middle. The lace is done with embroidery thread. The molds I've built out of silicone by myself, and in these molds the epoxy is casted in. Unluckily, the molds did not last long. That means that the plastic coming out is not longer shiny and clear and has to be reworked. This reworking takes up a lot of time and is really nerve-wracking. Every pattern you can think of is working well. The task is to get the lace laid well, that no lace is sticking out. Lace sticking out has to be grinded and recasted. That means the part of lace is gone. Resin epoxy, casted in board forms. As I said in the introduction, the customer preferred ready-made jewelry. I swapped them to board forms where I casted just the epoxy in. Due to data loss, I have only now cufflinks and charms as photos. With these forms to cast the base of the form, which was silver or gold, was shining through. So that was not good. So I painted them inside white and then casted the resin. The next problem was that the lace tried to stick out, so I laminated the lace and casted it then. That made life easier. Resin epoxy casted in charms. The charms are really tiny. The charms are slided one or more on a silicone or leather band. That's ideal for me for using rests of lace. And I sold them quite cheap in relation to other stuff. For selling, I needed a mixture of high prices, middle prices and take-away goods. For these were the charms really well. They are really difficult to photograph, as also the cufflinks. Resin epoxy as soul rings. For these rings I have bought ready-made molds. You can get them everywhere on Amazon or whatever. I have casted that again lace in resin. The lace has to be very small to fit in, but you see the results are really nice. Though the customers don't value them very high because it's just plastic, but they quite often not see the work. But for me they are really charming and you can make a lot of effects with them, as you can see. Then I stretched myself a little bit more and I worked, also put olive wood in the form, and the results were quite nice. There are some issues with them, but we will resolve them in a workshop. So that was the gallery for today. Now I still have more stuff to show, but the video would be too long, so I am saying goodbye, showing you in a moment some extras, and I hope you will come with me on my first tutorial, which will be the next video. We are going to make a bracelet with a pattern, so I hope you're coming back. Please, if you have enjoyed it, please tell your friends, and give me thumbs up, very important. Subscribe to my channel, and you can also leave some comments. I'm really happy, or questions I'm happy to answer. So I say thank you for the time you have spent with me, and goodbye.